How are you, my friend?
What
is that? What did you do?
It's an electronic cigarette, because I live in the future.
Is it? And what happens with electric? Are you joking?
That is nothing but water vapour and nicotine, and probably some other carcinogens, just ones that don't occur in cigarettes.
Can I go?
Here, Len passes on his hereditary
It's heavier than it's actually heavier than a cigarette.
Yeah.
So anyway, Warren. I know. It's like a roller carpet.
I'm thinking like a 60s TV chat show, you remember?
Yeah.
There were all like clouds of smoke and you could barely see. I remember seeing Kenneth Williams and Maggie Smith being interviewed by someone. There was so much smoke on the stage you could barely see them or the interviewer. I thought that's how to live.
You could smoke on it.
Yeah, they were drinking whiskey, smoking.
Right, we're here to talk about you because these guys want to know a bit about you. My first question is about the cinematic approach you take to comics. Because I notice in The Authority that there aren't just one or two splash pages. It just seems to be sometimes it's just splash page after splash page after splash page. What is that? And are you a big fan of the movies, and do you try and translate that fandom into your comics?
Big fan of the movies, big fan of the way you can compose a picture when you push it wide like that. You can get all kinds of interesting stuff going on. And you create a sense of spectacle. Buying comics is a thing where you're basically asking someone, usually to travel some considerable distance, to some pokey comic shop.
Yes.
Where both...
Smells of virginity.
There you go. That and Betsy, your dead mother in the drain.
And goth people.
Well, speaking as someone who used to be one of them, shut up. In order to convince people to go through that to buy a comic, which is still a fairly unusual thing to do, you really have to provide them something they're not going to get anywhere else. While you can emulate elements of film, it's not really emulation that we're doing. It's taking the tools of film, adapting them to comics and making them bigger and better, and applying an actual artistic aesthetic to them.
Is that why you think, I'm starting, comicbookmoviesalready.com. Is that why you think a lot of the movie adaptations aren't working?
I think that's why some of them aren't working, certainly. If you're not, if you're going to go back and make a movie of a comic and you're not providing something that isn't in the comic, if you're not actually going nuts with it and saying, well, here's what we've got here and we can explode it out to this, and level up the sense of spectacle and energy and visual imagination, then why the fuck did you turn up to work?